那些赛事里请的日本人，并没有把日本人里面
他们请的，我告诉你，还不是本身的日本人，他们请的是我们北京城五道口的那些日本留学生。
是吗？
是。有的还是蒙古人，给我号称日本人。完了之后，中国人一听打日本人就高兴了，这简直是掩耳盗铃，自欺欺人。你敢播吗？我发给你，你敢播吗？
没问题。
Jerry from Fight Commentary Breakdowns here. It's important to understand the cultural zeitgeist at the time in China. This was an era of Assassin's Creed knockoffs destroying Japanese soldiers, Kung Fu masters kicking Japanese soldiers in the air, and even the occasional grenade taking down a Japanese warplane in World War II dramas. It got so bad that even college professors and historians were calling this out. We have to understand this context to understand why Xuxiaodong also felt the need to reveal some of this cringe in the fight game. So let's keep watching.
那我再告诉你给爆料吧，你们敢爆料我就敢说。现在日本人的出场费现在是全中国当中是最高的。你请俄罗斯人、请美国人、请巴西人、请英国人都没有请日本人高。你知道为什么吗？因为日本选手知道我来就得挨揍，被你们揍一顿。原来在北京外国语学院那些日本留学生练得不错的是5000块钱人民币出场费，现在我告诉你已经涨到了6万块钱了。
你说这个5000、6万是指参加什么节目？
是参加所有赛事的出场费，而且6万是最便宜的，他们水平非常低，但是他们也出这个价，因为什么？因为我们知道来这儿就挨揍，来这儿就打。
你觉得像日本的那种自由搏击的高水准的职业选手，如果到中国来参加武林风这样的比赛，那最后的结果正常情况下会是
90%都会获胜。
90%。
对。
Some of you might ask, Jerry, why didn't you translate this in 2017? The truth of the matter was, I didn't think xuxiaodong would get so banned. I remember even in college when I would talk to classmates from China, they would tell me, oh yeah, a lot of those matches where the Japanese champions or the Japanese masters get beat up by the Chinese fighters, a lot of them were just kind of fake / they weren't real Japanese people, etc. People have been telling me that since the beginning. It didn't seem to me like this was anything too controversial, anything too revealing. Now, obviously, if you're going to talk about Japan, especially historical Japan, you got to be careful, right? Because Japan's reputation in Asia is very bad. It did a lot of bad things, World War II, pre-World War II. Many parts of Asia, there's a collective disdain for at least historical Japan. I'm just mentioning this because you do have to tread a fine line if you're going to talk good about Japan, especially if you're going to talk about what xuxiaodong's talking about, things bordering on cheating or unethical behavior that the Chinese fight promotions are doing just to make a buck based on certain cultural attitudes in China towards the Japanese.
长岛雄一郎在日本属于一个中档次的选手，2次 KO 武僧一龙。那么这是真事儿啊。那么武林风跟那个长岛雄一郎签了一个协议，我给你多少人民币，你不许把这个视频给发出去。这个人日本人非常守信，现在谁都没发。是我在大连一家拳馆的朋友，他在日本的拳馆熊岛军郎一块儿训练的，亲手亲耳告诉我的。说这个
看到这个视频了吗？
我看到这视频剪辑了10秒钟，我只看了10秒钟这个视频。
就是这两个人的真实的这种实力差距非常大，是吧？你说当时这个录像是被谁出钱支付让他不让？
我不敢确定是武林风，但是不是武林风就是一龙，因为只有这2方对他是最大的利益。
为什么要这样呢？
因为武僧一龙是武林风包装的一个国家英雄啊，人民英雄、民族英雄啊。我请问你，一个中华民族的英雄能让日本人打败吗？能让日本人 KO 吗？
就是上台为了满足观众对打日本人这样的一种想法。
Yilong's match with Yuichiro, only the second match is on. The first match can't be found. So when Xiaodong says Yilong got KO'd twice, he probably means the first match. Because the second match, there was a knockdown, but it ended without a KO, and it was a draw between Yuichiro and Yilong. So while I believe Xiaodong, you can see how this part might not hold up journalistically. I saw some footage that was my friend, revealed to me. You see where it's like a friend of a friend type of, where's your source, right? You have to reveal your source. So this is something I just want to tell you guys from a journalistic perspective, take with a grain of salt. Xuxiaodong's a very blunt guy, right? So I doubt he's completely making stuff up. But from a journalistic angle, if you want to be objective, give us the footage or This is still just hearsay. And Xiaodong has been calling out Yilong for years, especially at the time Yilong was really packaged a certain way. So it could have upset certain people beyond the people he was calling out at Wulingfeng.
这个赛事派了一个中国的顶级的散打运动员，是个女的，跟一个日本的男选手打，号称这个日本男选手是北九州这那的，是个统一的拳王。完了跟咱们中国的女子的选手打，你想想这种新闻是不是得报？在这些中国的土鳖看来。 当时出场之后，全体育场全嗨了！我的天哪，一个中国的女孩被日本的跟日本拳王打，原来日本侵略我们多惨，烧杀抢掠！我靠，现在我们中国一个女孩就练到这种地步打他们，您知道我为什么骂吗？整场比赛不超过10秒钟，17秒钟吧。那个日本人就一直挨打，直到跪到地下起不来，跟孙子一样。全中国人沸腾了，咱们女子选手牛逼了。但我告诉您的就是，这个日本选手什么都不会。 就是一个普通的一个留学生，给了很多的钱过来打，日本人打起来就乐乐，苦笑了一下，呵呵，走了。我也理解，人家来中国挣钱，挣点学费比人不强了。
那他在日本是什么所谓的拳王吗？
他什么都不是，他就是您都打不过，这就是中国，中国的武林的现状。我为什么打架？引民族仇恨是有，我也有，我也骂小日本。我去过日本2次，我被震撼了。 他们拳馆的业余的爱好者水平跟中国人没法比，但是他们非常非常的认真，做一个动作，1节课的运动量比咱们要强很多。啊，歇会儿喝点水，我不能喝水。教练您好，我确实身体不舒服，我想休息一会儿，但是我努力的，下次会努力的练，谢谢您。很震撼，它是一个值得去学习的国家，而不是痛快。
按道理来说啊。 像你说的这种现象，圈里边人应该都知道。都知道。那为什么只有你一个人知道？
因为我这赛是我自己投钱，我这赛事我自己玩，我没有任何投入，因为我有良心，因为我不是现金运动员，因为我不是能拿金钱所收买的。错了，对不起，我再现实点，因为我不是用简单的一点金钱能收买的。可以吗？我可以这么说。
就是价钱高了还是可以的。
对。
I think anyone that's grown up in America would be like, dude, this type of bluntness is natural in America. We just call it real, or we just call it a person that wears their heart on their sleeves. But you have to understand it from a Chinese context, right? Chinese context is so image-driven, it's so face-driven. So sometimes you just have to tread carefully. Now, I still don't think any of what he said would just get him banned. So the most likely thing is there's a lot of things put together that led to Xiaodong getting his social media taken down in 2017. This definitely didn't help, right? And this definitely contributed to this image. I mean, I had that image too of him. I thought, okay, this dude was just being disrespectful. How he was mistreated was how sort of turned me around. I told this to Xiaodong when I interviewed him. Right before the interview, I told him, I was like, dude, I'll be honest with you. At first, I wasn't your biggest fan, but then I saw what happened to you. I'm like, wow, come on, that's too overboard. I tried my best to not cut in with my thoughts unless it was completely necessary. Some of you mentioned that, oh, Jerry, can you let the translation go on for a little longer? So I did that. So you guys let me know what you think. The final thing to keep in mind is I think a lot of these attitudes have changed again, right? If you remember my translation of this other referee slash judge slash Sanda coach talking about the Japanese mentality, he was also being very positive. Unfortunately, sometimes the timing's just wrong. And I think Xuxiaodong just got famous at a time when it was just really sensitive in China. There was a presidential transition, there was a supreme leader transition, and then, you know, America and China were getting a little bit more hostile because of the Trump administration's first term. So whatever the case was and is, we finally translated this stuff because this is stuff that needs to be told. Anyone that's new that stayed this long or is returning from this channel knows we just don't like deception when it comes to martial arts. Martial arts takes a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and honestly, money. So we want to make sure all those efforts are spent correctly. Ultimately, that is Xiaodong's goal, just like my goal. I thank you guys so much. Make sure to leave your comments. This is a very interesting topic, and again, this video will open up discussion beyond martial arts, so feel free. I give you guys permission to talk more about that stuff. Just, of course, try your best. If you get heated, try not to use too many words that might get my channel or yourself in trouble. You know what I mean, guys. We've been through this. We'll talk soon, guys. Make sure to go follow Xiaodong, and I'll link the interviewer. He has a YouTube channel too. So thank you guys so much. Talk to you soon.